everyone, it is RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13, Episode 1, The Pork Chop. So it is pitch black outside. This lighting is so harsh, but I wanted to get this up and done. If this is your first time with me, I am a long-time Drag Race viewer. I've worked on a competitive reality show, not Drag Race, but I'm a huge fan of competitive reality. And so I'm just here because I want to talk with other people about the show. I don't have any inside drag knowledge other than I've watched basically every single season. So we're just here to have fun, to talk about the show. So this is, you already know this, guaranteed it's been everywhere, which is they did a new format. And I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I heard early on that they were eliminating the queens into a winner's premiere episode and a loser's premiere episode. I don't know if I thought that was an official announcement, but now looking back, I'm wondering if it's one of those. I've been trying to avoid, I hate the spoiler. And they're everywhere. I can't watch videos anymore. I can't read comments because people are like, oh, so-and-so goes home in episode 3. I don't want to know that. I just want to watch the show the way it was intended. It's just more fun for me. Just to, this can't be a full-time job. Sometimes people are like, oh, well, did you see this article? No, I'm not reading the articles. I'm not doing the blogs. I'm not doing the additional content. If there was an untucked, it didn't get recorded, so I'll try to fix that. But anyway, so I knew coming into it they weren't getting rid of it, and I think most people had some inkling that they're not going to get rid of 6 queens or 7 queens out of 13 right off the bat. I wonder if they intended to have 13 queens because of season 13. I had heard one of the queens, I said I don't listen to spoilers, but I clearly heard this one, which is they got rid of 1 queen before the season, and I'm guessing because of quarantine rules they couldn't replace them. So I don't know whether they intended to have 14 and ended up with 13, or whether they did in fact have a couple alternates, because I've heard that as well. So anyway, they come in 2 by 2, except the last group is 3, and they do head-to-head lip syncs. I didn't agree with all of the lip sync results. I don't feel so strongly that I'm like, argh, but at the same time I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I know who won, and then someone else went to it. But I am not a lip sync aficionado. I don't really find it that entertaining. I don't dislike it. I don't mind it as part of the show format. Sorry, it's still really early and I'm still waking up. But I've never been like, oh, it should just be lip sync. And I think this is actually when you talk about like Holland and Canada and some of the other seasons, one of my beef was that they put the lip syncs with too much weight. I've always felt that a lip sync can make you lose or can help you win, but in general it should be the whole challenge. So eliminating the whole challenge and going just to a lip sync was not my favorite altogether. But I did like the format, because what I realized, and I'm sure you did too, almost immediately, was that they, not only were they not prepared, not only was it delightful every time to see how confused they were when they went straight into a lip sync, but it really shook things up, because they head into this knowing their entrance look they will not have to lip sync in it. So to see people on ice skates, to see people in an original Bob Mackie having to lip sync and being so confused, that was a delight to me. So I did like that. I will go through them one by one and just say a little bit. But one of the things I didn't like, and this is very nitpicky, this is a minor detail, is I felt like once they got the pork chop, I kind of would have liked for them to be a little bit more clued in that there was something original coming. Now, most of them guessed. The one who didn't was Tamisha Iman, who it's already one of my favorites, but I felt so bad for and was so like, you know, I couldn't do season 12 because I got cancer and I beat it and come back. Of course, they would immediately send you home. And they're like, well, they couldn't do it. She's like, the worst has happened to me. They can do it. They can cut me. And I feel like everyone after 2020 can so relate to that mindset of like, of course the worst thing on earth could happen immediately. I don't even get to open up my bags, of course. So I really, really felt her on that. So we will, so I would have liked something more, like when they cut the queens, but they didn't let them leave and they were all confused. I would have liked a little bit more clues that like maybe like it is not the end yet or something, so that they spent that time instead of just watching 7 drag queens in almost tears. I kind of would have liked a little bit more, like one more clue to tip them off that there was something coming. I will tell you though, if they just vote off someone, I'm going to be really disappointed. I don't want anyone going home before I can see them do a challenge. Because right now, I, even as the viewer, have no clue who I would send home. I mean, I'm really interested in everyone. I want to know them more. I definitely want them to at least, if all they get is, hi, this is who I am. Here's my entrance look. I'm going to meet one person. I'm going to talk for 2 minutes to the judges, do a lip sync, which, like I said, it's not my favorite thing. I don't dislike it, but it's not enough to have me be like, oh, I've seen enough from her already. And then vote someone off. They're going to vote off someone who, you know, although I will say that about half of the people on the iconic pork chop wall are legends. Like Shangela's there, Vanjie's there, so I almost feel like going first is almost better than going home second or third. But anyway, that's a separate thing. So they come in 2 by 2. We meet Candy Muse, who's at the House of Aja, which she quickly said, I am not the House of Aja, I'm my own thing, Aja's down here. Well, whether you take that as like tongue-in-cheek bragging or whatever, it was a choice. And then Joey J, kind of with a little flat wig, they go out there, Candy wins, Joey J goes back. Denali, Ice Skater, was super happy to see Lala Reed. This is kind of one where I was like, I didn't go through, I would say these first couple, I didn't go through and go, oh, this is clearly one person's up here and one person's down here. I would have kept Denali, but I didn't think Lala Reed did bad. Sorry, it just was for me. I felt like having to lip sync in ice skates kind of gave a difficulty factor that should have been counted in. That was just my opinion. Simone, female illusion, gorgeous face. I like queens with a little more padding. If you look at previous seasons, I say this about white queens as well. The female illusion for me kind of ended here. Super cute dress, but like something to kind of give the illusion of boobs. Gorgeous face. Tamasha Mon instantly has my heart. You have the best story. First of all, I tend to like the more experienced queens. I really enjoyed that. I just enjoy that in general. Of course, as a getting there slightly older woman, I appreciate all those years of hard work. I enjoy, I always just kind of feel for the older queens, because I feel like so many years of experience, and I think it shows. And I think it, even when these young amazing queens are so awesome, I think there's something valuable in this experience. So that has me there. An incredible story, cast for season 12, gets colon cancer, has to, the day after, I mean, oh, that has to just make you, it just makes me so sick for her, that she was from this really high low to like, you have stage 3 cancer, has to call and be like, I can't go, I've got cancer. Go into treatment within roughly a year. I would have to look at when they were all cast and filmed and stuff, but let's just say a year, just something she said. Heals up for it and can come back. Like, I am 1000% want to see more from Tamisha. That is so exciting. Got Mick, the first trans male who's on the competition, and it's been big on, I almost said the Instagram, but yeah, the Instagram, about how RuPaul has slightly changed from like, may the best woman win to the best queen win. This is really exciting. Gottmik has amazing, I will at some point say Got Milk. I apologize. It's just, and Gottmik has said that this is something that they get all the time. But amazing makeup. I'm always a fan of really out there queens, and that's just a bias of mine, I admit that. I like comedy queens, I like campy queens, I like really like Evie with the really pushing the boundaries of makeup. I like all that. I just find it really interesting. Against Utica Queen, who's kooky, reminds me of Ivy Winners a little bit when they first came in. This is one, I didn't want either one of them. I didn't want either one of them to go. Oh, and so then the last group, Simone, who did really well, won. This is one where I would have given it to Tamisha, specifically because they talk about the Janet Jackson choreography. My first thought was Captain EO from Disneyland. If you've never seen that, if you didn't live in Southern California, Captain EO was a Michael Jackson pop musical that was 3D that used to be at Disneyland in Tomorrowland. And just another part of me. And it ran for years and years and years, and we used to go all the time and watch it, and that's what was my reference, was that it reminded me of that. Anyway, and so I really wanted Tamisha to win. Simone did really well, though. No one did badly. This is not me saying this was crap and this was the best I've ever seen. It's just a matter of, with my limited experience, I would have voted a few of these a little differently, and it bothers me because if someone ends up in the bottom because they were this much worse than the person who was at the top, that's always my issue. That's always my issue with these head-to-heads, that you end up with people where two people, not so much here, but two people are bad, and one of them wins and is safe even though they might have been the second worst of the whole competition. And then you have people who are both really, really, really good and outstanding, and because they just were barely edged out there in the bottom group, if one of these queens, I mean, someone's gonna go home. Anyway, I'll get to that in a second. So, Gottmik won, but I was so bummed because I thought Utica Queen did amazing. And so anyway, Rosé and Olivia Lux. This is another one that I would have put Rosé slightly ahead of Olivia. They were both really good. I almost kind of wondered if this wasn't slightly influenced by the decision that Olivia was 1.5 years into it, and Rosé is someone that was a judge for her, and if that wasn't meant to like kind of knock people's feet out from under them. Comedy Queen, Rosé looks really interesting to me. Comedy Queen has been on The Voice, has been on American Got Talent. I don't know what else I wrote, but I have a little heart, so that's one that I did enjoy. Tina Burner, love it. Once again, an older queen. I did end up reading an article, dated Graham Norton. I want to know what boy band it is. Apparently no one can figure out what boy band Tina Burner was in, so let me know. Against Kimora Hall, not Kimora Hall, but Kimora Hall, and Elliot with 2 T's. I found all of them super interesting. Tina Burner won. The other two, Kimora Hall is related to Jaded Essence Hall. We have lots and lots and lots of season 2 and on queens. Like I said, Candy Muse was in the House of Aja, but I guess now her and Broccoli are in the Dollhouse. Dahlia, I can't remember. Someone is in a girl band with Jan. I can't remember which. I didn't write that down. Maybe that's why I wrote next to Rosé. I don't know. Kimora Hall, Jada Essence Hall, lots and lots and lots of references back. So what happens is, as the top queens go, they go into one place, and we kind of see a little bit of them. And I don't see any of the people in the top. Well, no, I take that back. Some of them were like, do you really think they're gone? What's going on? The bottom is just sitting around really depressed. That's kind of why I would have liked it if they walked in. There were some clues so that more of them were talking. My guess is they thought they would figure it out. Like when the first one got put there, they'd be like, well, this isn't normal. When the second one, they would go, well, we can't just get rid of half of them. They can't even afford to do that. You can't afford to bring out like 7 extra queens for one episode. But then they said they were going to vote someone off, and I was like, no, thank you. I don't want the queens making that decision. No. I want the professionals, because we see it all the time. Remember, people didn't really get Ben de la Creme in her first season. People didn't really get Trixie a lot in her season. Jinx, they would have gotten rid of her like 12 times if it had been up to the other queens, because they don't see what we see. They don't see the interviews. They don't see, a lot of times it's just... Sometimes it can just be mean girl mentality. Sometimes it's just genuinely they're so in their shtick that they don't see and appreciate other queens. And it's not, to be a good queen, you don't need to see every other queen's ability. You have to just really understand what's going on with you. And so if it's left up to the queens, and they haven't even seen each other perform. So I'm really hoping it's another twist. And next week, this is not how it's going to play out. I'm really, really hoping. I'm hoping that we could actually see them do queen stuff, like whether it's, we do see that the winners go on to do a performance. I'd like to see, I don't know. I don't know what I'd like to see. I don't know what I'd like to see that ends up with the voting making sense. But anyway, okay. I haven't even seen enough from any of these queens to have favorites. Mick had, I think, one of the more impressive makeups, but I wanted to learn more about Denali. I wanted to learn more about Joey J, just because that's my first Phoenix queen, Utica queen, Rose. I was really impressed by Timon. I already said that Tamisha Iman right now has my heart as a cancer survivor, as an older queen, Tina Burner. I mean, basically you could say, who don't you like? So I kind of like all of them right now. I haven't seen enough from any of them to really know. No one screwed up the lip sync. Nobody fell on their face. No one forgot the words. I felt like some were better than others, but that's not the only thing. Like, I liked Trixie Mattel and not the world's best lip syncer. I don't know if I've seen Bianca Del Rio, lip sync. So I don't know. So I'm hoping I get to see more from all of them. But if you have early favorites, I did not watch all of the pre-show stuff because I am on deadline for a book. So I watched the show. I did not watch all all of the interviews. I didn't even see all the cast interviews. I saw the pictures, but I didn't see, go through all their little interviews. So hit me up, tell me, do you agree with all the lip sync wins? Did you like the twist? I've seen people say that they thought it was too mean. I thought people who, thought it was great. I'm kind of in the middle. I thought it was great. I wish they had kind of changed the tension a little bit, because all of the cuts to like the queens like this was just a little bit too much like, oh, don't lose your spirit yet. And I knew from the beginning they wouldn't cut all of them. I don't know if that was a spoiler or not, but anyway, hit me up, tell me what you think, and I hope you are enjoying the new season. Bye!